Grande!
I do believe I'm on fire. Fire! 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 Ah!
Pyro is a funny case where most of his melee weapons are trash. I mean, when was the last time you saw someone using the hot hand or volcano fragment? The only Pyro unlocks that I see are for utility, but I personally like to use his damage melee unlock, Axtinguisher, as it's a really fun weapon, and in this video I want to go over why I like using it. Let's go over the stats really quick. You deal extra damage based on the remaining afterburn. Killing blows on burning targets grants you a speed boost. You also deal mini crits on burning targets and extinguish them. And for downsides, you deal 33% less damage, the weapon holsters 35% slower, and the most impactful downside of them all, no random crits. Clearly lack of random crits mean this weapon is pretty terrible, am I right? Jokes aside, this weapon is all about comboing. You set them on fire, switch out to this weapon and BAM! You deal high burst damage and get a speed boost too if you kill them, which encourages you to go for more, and I live for the dopamine boost that I get from successfully killing someone with the axe. While you do extinguish the targets if the afterburn duration wasn't enough, sometimes it has dealt enough damage for you to quickly switch back to your flamethrower to finish them off. This weapon also works better with Decreaser as its faster holster speed neglects Axtinguisher's penalty, making it slightly faster to land the finishing blow. But while I love this weapon, it kind of struggles with keeping up with the enemies as it's a melee weapon, and Pyro being slightly slow means that the enemy can put enough distance to avoid being hit by the axe. And because it's a melee weapon, you have to deal with the game's crappy hit registration, and because I'm very rusty with the game because I've been playing nothing but RuneScape, I keep missing the easy targets and end up dying or awkwardly switching back to the flamethrower to finish the job. It's just a bit easier to rely on a shotgun as it has more range and doesn't have to deal with the mentioned hit reg. And honestly, I think the main downside of using this weapon is that you don't have Pyro's easier to use utilities. Like Power Jack gives you faster movement speed for just keeping it out, and Back Scratcher gives increased healing from medkits, allowing you to become more independent from medics and dispensers. But I am fine with that as I live for those dopamine hits, and it's just more fun to beat people with an axe rather than constantly rely on the shotgun, as it's just a slightly more boring and safe option. That's why I personally like to use the Axtinguisher as it's satisfying and fun weapon to use. Remember, TF2 is a video game after all, so having fun is the most important part. Anyway, thank you all for watching, do leave a like and maybe even a comment if you want to see more TF2 stuff, and have a nice day.
Let this be a lesson for you!
I told you breaking into guarded station just to get Cerno Fuma would be a bad idea. Seeing how hilarious your attempt was, I will take you to the repair shop and then to therapy, as you're gonna need it after what happened.